We gonna take our time. I like to compare the rhythm of girl talk to like Golden State 2015. You know what I mean? Like we got a nice rhythm. We play it at our own pace, but we gonna be shooting them threes, and they gonna come fast, and you gotta be ready. So you know, for those of you that don't watch basketball, basically just be quick to listen and slow to speak. But when you speak, you know, say it with your chest. So let's get right into it. Our first question is definitely for the guys only. I want to know, because me and my ladies, we talk about it a lot. Every single one, this our eighth one, this eighth time hearing it. But I want to ask the guys, do y'all love yourselves? Like, do y'all know what self-love is?
So me, I think it's about mental, physical improvement.
Okay.
You should always be consistently trying to do better for yourself. And that's part of self-love. I mean, you know, it's tough out here for black men just in general. So you have to be mentally strong in this cold world, especially in Detroit, man. Jesus Christ, it's cold as hell.
So, as far as prioritizing self-love, as women, everybody comes first. The home, the children, the man, the business, the events. How do we, what advice would you give us as far as prioritizing self-love? And then also, because this is the 2.0, it's elevated, right? What do you do as a man to help your woman prioritize herself? Or should you?
100%. You should uplift her as a queen. Every day tell her how beautiful she is. I mean, it's stressful for women out here depending on, it doesn't matter what they're doing. But just make sure that you reinforce that she's beautiful, reinforce that she's a queen. You be her piece too, because again, men always ask for peace. But a lot of times we also need to be a woman's piece. They can be stressed out. And sometimes they just need to be held. You know, just told her it's gonna be all right. You know, that's what I would really say. Really well.
Just telling each other what you want to hear, but also motivating each other for the things that we speak of, that we say we want for ourselves. Because sometimes, you know, we speak on stuff and then we're not putting the action behind it. So as a couple, you're supposed to be there for each other to let each other know that, hey, you know, if you slacking on this, I got your back, and you know, I'm motivating. Accountability is huge.
I like that, Tony.
You know, that's been big on the podcast. Ladies, they've been saying we don't like to be held accountable. Yes. So we'll get on that, but that's a good tip. And we like that. So basically, Tony, what you're saying is when my man is holding me accountable and it feels like nagging, it's really him wanting me to prioritize that self-love.
Yes.
Okay. It goes both ways. You're right. It ain't just him nagging me or me nagging him. It's you said you wanted to be this.
Yep.
And I'm just standing 10 tones with you saying, what's up? Are you this or are you not? You want your family, but you're fucking around. No, I'm joking.
I think from my perspective as someone who, like, I have like a few friends who are still like single without, you know, it's going in and out?
I don't even
know.
know.
All right. So I don't have any kids, but I have a lot of friends who have kids, and I feel like the one thing that I support when it comes to like my female friendships is just making sure we give ourselves grace and making sure we give our, you know, we can sometimes be hard on ourselves when it comes to being a little selfish. And I feel like when it comes to like self-love, it's really, really knowing yourself and knowing, like you mentioned earlier, like boundaries.
Yep.
And knowing what you should be receiving. You know, like sometimes people don't feed into you.
Yeah.
And just knowing when, you know, you're not receiving it and knowing when to be like, hey, this isn't working out for me. And that could be for friendships, relationships, family, whatever. Like as long as you have like that good balance and you know within yourself what you deserve, I feel like that's like the best kind of self-love you can give yourself.
I love that.
Social media is like poisoning like somebody's human mind, and they think that we are not out here protecting them. But I also think like that's just not the case. I don't get women out here. I don't feel protected. No, I just think it's social media just making y'all feel unsafe. But like,
so it's like I come in encounter with a rude black man. He's just a rude black man. It's not. The
he's just a rude man.
Okay.
He's not a rude black man. He's a rude man. He's rude. He rude to all.
He's just rude. Period.
He's rude. Period. Rude to me too.
Like
you know
that.
what I'm saying? But it's just I think you guys think that we're not out here looking for your best interest. But sometimes I deal with business all the time. But when I'm dealing with a business with a woman, they want me to be more gentle with them. And that's just not the case. I am who I am.
Hey, and I want y'all to pay attention too as the rest of this day go on. Is this gentleman right here And this gentleman that just spoke is evil doppelganger. So y'all tell me if I'm tripping or if they look like the same person, because it be messing me up. But I was just gonna say basically about just the value on people, just the value on humans, the value on black people. And I think like that has something to do with it, because somewhere along the way, I do feel like the value of women, I don't want to say has plummeted, but I want to say that it's not maybe what it once was. And I think that's due to men and women, but I think that kind of helps to enable that type of treatment that you referencing as far as like feeling safe. You know, and I know you're gonna talk about money and some other things. Okay, all right.
To emotion and logic. So typically what happens is if it's a black man, he's raised by a woman, he's gonna pick up those emotions, and that's how he's gonna really interact with his woman. So when you talk about are you dating, and do you feel protected by a man, or do you feel that you're unprotected by a boy or some of these niggas that don't really know, because they emotional as hell too. So they want to argue and do the same shit that you doing, pop off, all of that stuff. But again, like he said, it goes all the way back. I mean, it's, they go back to slavery and them taking the men out of the household. So what it is you got to understand that it takes two people to understand, like, okay, this is what we need to do to get better as people and grow together. Because it's been tough for black men, it's been tough for black women. They put food stamps to keep the man out of the house. Like, it's a whole lot of bullshit that was put in place. They put all the rap videos. You wonder why the rap videos, like all the niggas wearing purses and merces and all this shit now. Type
literally trying to turn
they changing the niggas into females, and it was all by design. So what it is like you said, I mean, we got to reset, and it takes a woman to understand that. It may be a little bit tougher if a nigga been raised by a woman his whole life. Then he may not know. He may not even know how to be a man.
Giving him though, we want to send him home with something today. You're a very emotional young man. You were raised by your mommy. You can't be a little boy anymore. We need you to be a little bit more emotionally responsible. What are we giving that young man?
He needs to get around some men.
And the men need to
and the men need to little bro as well. But you gotta understand, some of these niggas be too far gone. Like it was a thing the other day. A dude shot somebody and killed him because he got mad because he was feeding the dude pizza. And it's like, okay, well, and it said that he looked gay, so he shot the nigga.
Oh, wow.
But it's like, why'd you even feed a nigga pizza? And then why you so emotional that you don't know that you don't need to shoot nobody because they called you gay unless you trying to hide something. But do that make sense? It's logic versus emotion.
Yeah, it's the emotion on both sides.
Yeah.
That's making us a little bit unsuccessful as far as making each other feel loved and protected. But like we said, we about to move on, because what we know is there are emotionally stable men out here. There are men that look at black women and say, I love you unconditionally. And there are women that are ready to stand 10 and step with you. So we gonna move on as far as those are our shared values right now. And I wanna take us to, so we talked about loving ourselves, keeping black women safe. Let's go a little deeper. So everybody been talking a lot about the Kendrick and Drake beef. Every podcast, if you're a podcaster, you literally have not heard nobody not talk about it. In the beef, Kendrick called Drake a colonizer, saying that he profits off of black culture and just kind of like is a swagger jacker. Drake tried to jab him and said, well, you rap like you trying to free slaves. My question is that a diss? To be freeing slaves? Like, if somebody said that about, like, oh, Christina, you do events like you trying to free slaves, would I held my head high or low? Like, what is that to say? And just as far as like things that are going viral, that someone made a post that said, Kendrick make protest music. But Kendrick also said, don't let a white rapper talk about a black woman. And men didn't really, a white comedian talk about a black woman. He said, that's law. And the men didn't say, hell yeah, that's law. But they did say, he do make protest music. So my question is one, is that a diss? And when you hear men uplift us, is that something you guys gravitate to? Do you want to hear, like, do you guys like to rub shoulders and clap hands and be like, all right, black man, like, make that black woman feel proud? Are you supporting other black men in supporting black men and black women? And was that a diss? I really want to know. Was that a diss to be like, you make like you trying to free slaves?
I say it's not a diss. He's protecting black women, black people. That's something that he should be doing. So I agree.
Okay.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm gonna say they don't want to hear it. So I create content. I have a platform, and when it comes to what people look at, I went to an event. Actually, Dr. Jazz hosted it. Period. And I talked to two men about their experience with the mental health event, how their mental health has been. Posted it thinking like it's this beautiful moment, no views, no comments, no nothing. If on my platform I say something, I wouldn't even say bad about me, and I speak my truth about them and people don't agree, that gets a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of likes. People don't want to engage with content that is positive about men. But of course, men make up most of the population. Men are supposed to be more of us. Where is y'all at when the good male-centered content is being made? Y'all don't want to see that. At least that's not what I see do well on my platform.
And I'm glad you shouted out Dr. Jazz, because Dr. Jazz came on the show, and let's address the elephant.
Let's address the elephant.
Mike a little bit crazy, you know what I'm saying? But that's my brother, and we love him, and we all got some crazy brothers and relatives, right? But people will skip all the shows with Ask Jen or Dr. Jazz to pull up to comment on the show that Mike is on and disagree with something he said. So I'm just saying that just to attest to what you're saying. I think it is true, and I mean I'm not sure why that is, but Dan might be able to help us.
Toxic world. That's what's driving this push this America. That's what toxic. America's built on toxic. We toxic. So anything that's toxic, we gonna go at. Anything that's positive, we gonna chop near to the left.
Is that just like some black people stuff though?
No, it's U.S. It's the world. That's what we predicate off of. Guns, money, sex, drugs. That's what goes. Anything that's positive is to the left. Nobody really want to narrative.
Like for me, and I could have probably took it a little sensitive, but to say you make protest music, nigga, yes I do. I'm out here, I'm protesting all the time. There's a better life, there's a better way, there's better people, there's better for us. And I know it because I have it, I've seen it, and I want to protest so that everybody gets it. So I could have been taking it sensitive as far as that, but it just really showed me, wow, like they really just not like us. Like you really just not on our type of time. And because I know a lot of black people that were fighting with that verse were saying, oh, slavery was 500 years ago. That was so long ago. Get over it. We're here now. And for those people, you are blessed. I'm not that person. We're still feeling, me and my peers are still feeling oppression from addiction, back when they had the crack, the 80s. We're still feeling systematic oppression where we couldn't get homes. We're still feeling where we couldn't get educated. 37-year-old Christina, me, my family, my environment, we still feel oppression. So if this nigga is rapping to free slave, everybody get your phone out and download that. Get free. Like what am I missing? What am I missing? Y'all like little light skin with the heart that bad?
But the biggest picture at the end of the day is still two black men competing against each other.
Because Drake is black.
He's not black.
Because Drake is black. Interesting.
But when I say fuck a job, I'm saying free the slaves, and nobody listening to what the fuck I say. Or they say I'm arrogant and I'm this and I'm that, but really I'm saying I retired when I was 30, and everybody else can. I ain't the brightest bulb in the but I did it, and I say everybody else can. Start your own business, do your own shit, invest in each other. But then they say, oh, he arrogant. He's shitting on people that ain't got a job, and blah, 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 and now I'm this and that. But I say fuck a job, and then it's a problem.
But it's like basically what Jen just said. They rather harp on your negative than to celebrate your positive. To say Mike is an entrepreneur, and even though he say fuck a job, he can maybe possibly use better English dictionary. But at the end of the day, why can't we be entrepreneurs and have our own and uplift each other? Because Mike, one thing I can say about you, he pull up and he there for his community, and I'm on that type of time. Let's pull up and let's be there for each other. And if it takes listening to protest music, let's go on and listen to the protest music. But I just didn't understand that. I was like, that's not funny to me. Okay, so we moving on, right?